Okay, in our last video, we looked at the pi over 3 reference angles, and in the one before that, we did the pi over 4 reference angles. Before that, we did the pi over 2 reference angles. So we filled in our entire unit circle with the exception of 4 more special angles, and that comes from our pi over 6 layer of the unit circle. So in example 3, we're carving our circle up into 12 congruent sectors, and in radians, that would be 2 pi over 12, 2 pi radians in the whole circle, 12 congruent sectors, and that reduces to pi over 6. So each one of these measures pi over 6. So starting at 0 radians, this would be 1 pi over 6, 2 pi over 6, which reduces to pi over 3, then 3 pi over 6, which reduces to pi over 2, 4 pi over 6, which reduces to 2 pi over 3, then 5 pi over 6, 6 pi over 6 reduces to pi radians. Then we have 7 pi over 6, 8 pi over 6 reduces to 4 pi over 3, then 9 pi over 6 reduces to 3 pi over 2, 10 pi over 6 reduces to 5 pi over 3, 11 pi over 6, and then back around to 1 revolution of the circle at 12 pi over 6, which reduces to 2 pi. So as we go around the circle, looking at these angles that reduce, we have 2 pi over 6, that one reduced to pi over 3. Then 3 pi over 6, that reduced to pi over 2. That's our quadrantal angle. 4 pi over 6, that one reduced to 2 pi over 3. 6 pi over 6 reduced to pi. 8 pi over 6, that reduces to 4 pi over 3. 9 pi over 6 reduces to 3 pi over 2. That's another quadrantal angle. 10 pi over 6 reduces to 5 pi over 3. And then 12 pi over 6 reduced to 2 pi. So as you're looking at each of these angles, you'll see that all of them are angles that we've seen in previous layers of the circle, except for these 4, pi over 6, 5 pi over 6, 7 pi over 6, and 11 pi over 6. Those are the 4 that we get from this layer that we didn't already get from previous layers of the circle. So as we go through now counting in degrees, this is 0, and there are 360 degrees in the entire circle. We're dividing that into 12 congruent sectors, and each of those then measures 30 degrees. So this would be 1 times 30, 2 times 30, which is 60, 3 times 30 is 90, 4 times 30 is 120, 5 times 30 is 150, 6 times 30 is 180, 7 times 30 is 210. 8 times 30 is 240. 9 times 30 is 270. 10 times 30 is 300. 11 times 30 is 330. And then 12 times 30 is 360, which gets us one full rotation in the counterclockwise direction. Okay, then in the next section, we're going to pull out this reference triangle from our pi over 6 angle and slide that over to the side here so that we can find the length of the horizontal side, which is x, the vertical side here, this is y, the radius is 1 because we're on a unit circle, and this is our 30-degree central angle, which makes this another 30, 60, 90 right triangle. So using our rule from geometry for 30, 60, 90 triangles, the short side, which is opposite the smallest angle, that is half the hypotenuse, and the hypotenuse is 1. So y, the short side, is 1/2. The long side, which is opposite our 60-degree angle, that is square root of 3 times the short side. So x is equal to the square root of 3 over 2. And that would be the coordinate where the terminal side of the central angle intersects the circle at x comma y. So the coordinate here at pi over 6 has an x of square root of 3 over 2 and a y of 1/2. When I reflect that into the second quadrant, in the second quadrant, x is negative, y is positive, and so this would be a negative root 3 over 2, comma 1/2. In quadrant 3, both x and y are negative. So this would be the point negative root 3 over 2, comma negative 1/2. And in quadrant 4, the x is positive, the y is negative. So our coordinate is root 3 over 2 and negative 1/2. So now when we go back to revisit our template for filling in the special angles on the unit circle, we can see that at 30 degrees, which is pi over 6 radians, our coordinate is positive square root of 3 over 2, comma 1/2. When we reflect that coordinate into the second quadrant, now the x is negative. So we have a negative root 3 over 2, positive 1/2. In quadrant 3, both x and y are negative. So negative root 3 over 2, negative 1/2. And in quadrant 4, x is positive, but y is negative. So positive root 3 over 2, comma, negative 1/2. Okay, filling in our radian measures as we count around the circle. This is half the circle, which is 6 pi over 6. So 1 back from that would be 5 pi over 6. Again, if half the circle is 6 pi over 6, 1 more than that would be 7 pi over 6. If the whole circle is 12 pi over 6, 1 back from that would be 11 pi over 6. And now we have all of our radian measures. And to finish off the degree measures, 30 degrees back from 180 is 150. 180 plus 30 degrees is 210. And 360 minus 30 degrees is 330 degrees. And now we've filled in all the special angles on the unit circle in degrees, radians, and coordinates.